I'm Paula Newton in Ottawa, and this is CNN.
African Voices Changemakers, in association with Glow Unlimited.
Welcome to African Voices Changemakers. I'm Ari Topo. This week we meet a fearless female leader from Zimbabwe who's advocating for girls' education in Africa. Unable to pay her own school fees as a child, she now heads up the very organization that helped her stay in class.
My policy is that for as long as I'm still breathing and I'm still here, I'm going to do the best I can with what I have, with what I know, with whoever is willing to join to be able to make a difference in this lifetime. I always say that by the time I die, I want to be empty. I want to have done everything that I could have done to be able to make this world a better place in whatever way I can. I use education to uplift girls across sub-Saharan Africa. I am Angeline Murimirwa, and I'm a change maker. So I want you to say what you want to become loudly so that we all hear it and you hear it yourself.
Angeline Murimirwa believes knowledge is power.
Education is justice. Giving everybody an opportunity to go to school is justice. It tells every child that they belong, that they own their destiny, that they can shape it.
Angeline promotes girls' education across Africa through the Campaign for Female Education, or CAMFED. The NGO partners with more than 7,000 schools across 5 countries to provide educational opportunities and tackle poverty at its core.
We provide the financial support, the social support, and the community support for those girls who get places to go to secondary school to be able to proceed. I believe that in education lies all the answers with regards to fighting poverty on the continent. For starters, it's about inclusion. To date, we have supported over 5 million girls through school. Our strategic plan up to 2025 is to support 5 million more through school.
We were with Angeline as she traveled to Malawi to check in with members on the ground and discuss some of the challenges they're facing.
So how many of our districts were affected? Today we have got here members of the CAMFED staff in Malawi that are coming from various districts. And what we're discussing is what has been going on over the past few years, how we've been keeping children in school. But particularly we're zooming in on one of the major risks that is there now due to climate shocks, the challenge of food insecurity and how that would impact on students' retention in school.
For Angeline, the organization's work is personal. She understands all too well what it's like to struggle to stay in school.
I was born by poor parents, subsistence farmers who didn't have enough to eat, let alone invest in my education. I personally know how painful it is to be excluded from education, to be told that you can't sit in this class alongside your peers because you cannot meet the cost is powerfully painful.
Angeline was one of the first young women to receive support from CAMFED.
I was clear that I wasn't going to proceed to secondary school. So when CAMFED selected me, the fact that I had school fees guaranteed, I had all school going costs guaranteed, for me, I was hopeful. I realized that I could go back home and do something with the education rather than despair and worry about what was going on at home at that particular time. So I don't need an imagination to know what could have become of me, because when I got the chance to be supported by CAMFED, I had colleagues who didn't get it, and I have seen how their lives turned up. So for me, it's how do I use this privilege that I got?
To give back to the organization that helped her, she launched the CAMFED Association, which is a peer support network of women who are educated with CAMFED support and are now using their own experience to help the next generation of girls break down the barriers to education.
We are in Nansompa cluster, where we met with our Comfort Association members. Our biggest supporter right now is the alumni, who on average are each supporting 3 other children to go to school. And over the strategic period, we're looking at multiplying that to 5. These clusters are very helpful because they allow Comfort Association members to be able to meet locally to design how best they can assist their communities, but also how they can also elevate their lives and make good out of their lives. Not only are they supporting other children to go to school, they are also helping the aged in the village, repairing their houses, giving them entire basics, and making home visits. I hope you know just how proud of each of you I am. My heart is singing for joy. Okay, you guys, I need my hugs. It's always important to remember that these are girls who could have been a statistic. These are the girls who could have been pushed out of school because their parents did not have the financial means to be able to keep them in secondary school. So I do think that, we have a whole new generation of leaders that were traditionally excluded, that are coming up as teachers, as nurses, as doctors, as lawyers, in their very own communities.
Next, we meet some of the Comfort graduates who are empowering the next generation of women leaders.
20,000 naira for free. 20,000 naira bonus.
Is your line blocked? Then move to Glow.
I'm reconnected.
Because we've all reconnected. And it's simple. Dial *109# and link your NIN to your new or existing Glow number.
Get up to 20,000 naira for free with Glow.
20,000 naira bonus free.
Yes, sir, free.
Niger, what are you waiting for?
Chicago's South Side can sometimes carry a difficult, if not dangerous, reputation.
The threats in our community are numerous. There's threats of violence with gangs, with family members. There's guns. There's inequities in the system where students can't even go outside.
But in recent years, a new problem has come to light: human trafficking.
Human trafficking is something that affects every single person, no matter what age, no matter what gender, no matter what identity. It affects every single person.
But inside the brick walls of the Curie Metropolitan High School, a talented group of students has decided to do something about it. The students are part of a collective called Performers for Change. They're led by dance instructor Melinda Wilson.
Yes.
For the students, it's a chance to express themselves while educating their classmates. For Wilson, it's a chance to bring what some might consider a taboo topic out of the shadows.
I hope that it gets teens to really understand the dynamic of how serious and horrific these crimes are.
Angeline Murimiwa is determined to help girls across Africa gain equal access to education. To do that, she says they must address widespread poverty in the region.
There are multiple barriers that we have to jump over as an organization to be able to get girls into school. All of them are anchored in poverty. So it becomes a tradition that girls here, when you get to 9, 13 or whatever, you drop out. So it becomes more like it's a community culture. It's not. It's a culture of poverty. I believe that to fight tradition, you need to also introduce new narratives, and you do that by providing new opportunities, unprecedented opportunities, and bringing such relatable role models back to the community. So communities start looking at different elements around what do we celebrate as a community.
The social advocate is the executive director for Africa of the Campaign for Female Education, or CAMFED, the same organization she turned to for help as a struggling student.
Having experienced firsthand the struggle of keeping a hold on education and seeing not just parents struggle to keep their children in school and feeling the despair, the helplessness, and the sense that you are not in control of your destiny, it informs my leadership of the organization. It informs every decision we make. For me, it's about what you can do with your education, but it's also about the message that we send when we provide girls with an opportunity to go to school. We're saying to them, you have a right, you belong. That's why I love what I do, because it's real lives. You see them every single day. Every young person we have supported, you meet them. They've got their story.
Today, she's meeting with several women in Malawi who graduated school with CAMFED's help.
So are you going to take us in?
Yes.
Yes. Let's see. Charity is a CAMFED Association member, and she's an entrepreneur. She sells fabrics, materials, laces, and just now I'm buying my own fabric so that I can do my chilundu, right? Yeah.
I decided to employ my fellow CAMFED Association member as one way of encouraging sisterhood. My greatest vision is to transform these fabric services place to be the tailoring service.
2. You think 2 would be enough?
2, yeah.
Okay.
Charity Legal Maker is one of the 200,000 plus members who make up the CAMFED Association.
I managed to do everything, whatever I want in my life as a girl, as a CAMFED Association member. I also utilize the profit to do some philanthropic activities. I conduct home visits in person just to encourage them to do whatever they can.
Other members have chosen to go back to their former schools as learner guides to mentor students.
We understand that it's not enough for a child just to walk through the school gates and to just meet their school uniforms or their school needs. It's also important for learners to have social support to be able to navigate school and home life for them to be able to make a success. And this is led by our learner guides, and our social support is to all students, both boys and girls. Because for us, it's important for students to learn, stay in school, and succeed.
The association has also developed a climate-smart agriculture guide program to invest in female farmers and combat climate change.
Our Working Climate Action looks into how do we support communities to be able to use climate-smart approaches, to be able to increase their yields, but also to be able to respond to climate shocks. I'm so excited to be here because we're in Mulanje now and we're at Edith's farm. This is a rice farm, massive farm. CAMFED supported her through school from 2013, but she's now running her own enterprise, and this is big for every young woman that we support. And she's a role model in her community, and others also know that if you support a girl, everything changes, and her story is a testament to that.
Whether in agriculture or fashion, their success gives Angeline hope that one day every girl in Africa will be given equal opportunity to learn. And she says she will not stop until that dream becomes a reality.
For every girl out there, poor or not, struggling or not, you matter. You are important. You have every right to be here. You belong, and you are alive for a reason. And you have an opportunity to be able to make this world a better place. There's only one you, and the world needs you in this time, in this generation. Be you, and you know, you always have a cheerleader in me.
Times 10. Get a Glow SIM today and enjoy 1,000 Naira sign-on bonus for voice and data. All new and existing Glow subscribers also get 10 times the value of their every recharge, plus up to double their data recharge as bonus. All Glow subscribers also get up to free 20,000 Naira bonus for voice and data.
Coronavirus. To get daily news updates in your inbox, sign up for the CNN newsletter. Coronavirus. Fact versus fiction.
Equipping adolescents with health information can help them make smarter, informed choices. In Uganda, one man is ensuring that young Ugandans have access to sexual and reproductive information through a youth-led organization.
We want to tell our stories, stories that can be able to change our behaviors, that can also be able to change our mindset.
I am empowering the youth to make the right informed choices in life. I am Humphrey Naimanya, and I'm a change maker.
Humphrey Nabmania is the brains behind the hit Ugandan TV drama, Chadala.
No one is reporting anyone. We are not snitches. Don't trade your dignity for monks. Whatever I do with my body is none of your business.
The series sheds light on some of the real-life social issues Ugandans face.
Chadala Season 1 focuses so much on young people into high school and the kind of challenges they go through.
So we are being joined by a new student all the way from Nigeria.
But the plot line goes beyond high school drama.
Looking at so many challenges that we've been faced for over years, challenges around teenage pregnancy, child marriage, HIV and AIDS pandemic that have really hit us.
What we hope to achieve with the TV show, one is to change the perspective of how the youth, the elders perceive this community and the societies that we live in. Film is one of the ways to communicate to the stakeholders to make the right informed choices and also to make the policies that can protect that young girl in their society, but also the young people to understand how to stand for their rights.
Humphrey created the show in 2019 through his organization, Reach a Hand Uganda.
So Reach a Hand comes together to address some of those challenges, using the young people themselves to address their own problems and challenges they're facing in their different communities.
What's up, what's up?
The non-profit equips young people with the information they need to make informed decisions about their well-being.
Most of the programs and projects that Reach a Hand runs are led by young people, are designed by young people and implemented by young people, because we believe that we can change young people today by speaking the language that they understand. And Reach a Hand has designed those programs in terms of how do we reach to you directly, how do you reach to you also indirectly, that even if we are not able to reach, at least we know that everyone has a TV set. They can watch this drama, they can learn from it, they can get solutions from it.
Humphrey believes shows like Chadala will help normalize these types of conversations. The show is now in its second season, and today, Humphrey is checking in on its progress.
We're at Quad A Studios. This is where the post-production of Chadala is taking place. Quad A is an audio studio, majors in producing sound for films. First play it again.
Let me play one more time.
One more time, one more time. I mean, the beat represents the emotions. It captures like, you know, each and everything that is meant for the product.
With the soundtrack finely tuned, Humphrey got a sneak peek of an episode.
Right now we're at Incredible Media. This is where the magic happens. A lot of magic happened when we are shooting. Now we're doing post-production. We have seen the sound post-production, how it's all going. So lots of pieces are kind of put together. Uganda is yet to experience an amazing moment. It's always a good feeling to see that Ugandans can have something on their own that they can showcase to the standards that we have always dreamed to really have.
Wow. The social advocate found success by surrounding himself with a team of creatives who believe in his mission.
We met 2019 when I was going to work on Chadala Season 1 as a producer, which I graduated to being a director right now for Season 2. Film helps sort of like help us navigate through these tough, very critical and aggressive conversations that we never have on a regular basis. It's an advocacy platform. We educate, but as well we entertain. We want to sort of like wrap information nicely so that it can be received in a way that's not preaching. The sky is the limit for Humphrey because the energy, the time, the resources he puts aside to see such an initiative come to life is immeasurable.
Tonight, they see their hard work come to life.
We're having an official screening for Shadala Season 2 right here tonight. Proudly brought to you by Reach a Hand Uganda.
The mood is quite really amazing. Everyone has been looking forward for it. It's about us promoting the Pan-Africanism experience to the people of Uganda so that they can appreciate it.
Humphrey has more to celebrate than just the success of his TV show. Next, we see how Reach a Hand Uganda is uplifting women across the country.
20,000 naira for free. 20,000 naira bonus.
Is your line blocked? Then move to Glow. I'm reconnected.
Because we've all reconnected. And it's simple, simple. Dial *109# and link your NIN to your new or existing Glow number.
Get up to 20,000 naira for free with Glow.
20,000 naira bonus free.
Yes, so free.
Niger, what are you waiting for?
We want young people to be more empowered, to understand who they are, understand their rights, understand their sexuality being in terms of making the informed choices in life so that they can be able to, live a positive life for them to achieve their dream.
Humphrey Nabmania is educating Ugandan youth about sexual and reproductive health through his non-profit Reach a Hand Uganda.
We are Reach a Hand Uganda, our innovation space, where all the young people meet and they're able to create the change they want to see in their country. Good morning, people. Reach a Hand is a youth organization that focus on building movements around different communities led by young people.
Humphrey says he wanted to share the lessons he learned as a child.
My mom died when I was 9 months old. I was raised up by my sister. My sister got married also when she was still a teen. Unfortunately, the husband died of HIV, and also my sister lived in a world where it was full of stigma and discrimination. My sister was really so much open enough from my childhood, telling me about HIV and AIDS, telling me about issues concerning sexuality. And I remember at the age of 7, I came because I used to read a lot of magazines that my sister used to bring from different conferences and workshops. So I was so much exposed to sexuality education by that time.
Determined to make a difference, he sought help from others.
Right now we're at Skia Records, and we're here to meet one of my mentors, and that is Silver Chagulanyi for the last 13 years since we met. And he's been part of our big vision of Reach a Hand Uganda for so many years up to now, and most ideas were created from here.
Humphrey is like a child to me. When he came around, he had a clear vision on what he wanted to do with the young people, who change, transform the lives of his peers. And that was a bit mesmerizing for me. His love for people is genuine, interest in others is genuine, and whatever he does is people-centered.
With his friends and family by his side, Humphrey officially launched the organization in 2011. Since then, hundreds of young people have been trained as peer educators in sexual and reproductive health.
We have trained over 3,000 young people through our Peer Educators Academy. Out of this, 70% of those young people have set up their own initiatives that are able to emulate what Reach a Hand is doing in their communities.
When I met Reach a Hand, I loved their vision of helping young people, because sometimes young people, we don't have people to talk to. But when there are fellow young people that really are informed and well educated and they are willing to help, it's a really good thing. We actually set up camps to talk to those people, to teach them about their sexuality, to teach them about their health, how they can protect themselves as young people, I'm now able to talk about myself as a young person. I'm able to stand up as a young person for what I want, for my rights.
Over the years, Humphrey has earned numerous awards, but the humble advocate says his work goes far beyond the accolades.
We get the satisfaction every day when there's that young person who says, Richer Hand really changed my life. That's something that really keeps us going, for us to keep pushing and creating the change that we want to see in different spaces.
The organization brought the community together on March 8th to celebrate International Women's Day and advocate for women's rights.
Happy Women's Day, everyone.
We are at International University of East Africa, where we're going to engage with different students, where we have invited influential women in this country that are going to be talking about issues that are affecting young women and girls, and also looking for solutions on how we can address them in our different communities.
To celebrate you today,
it's important to empower the African youth, because they're the leaders of today. They're the innovators of today. There's the world they want to see.
Now, Humphrey says he's ready to build on their momentum and empower more young people across the continent.
In the next 5 years, we should be creating more content that can be consumed by the young people, like African telling their own stories. It's what now we are believing in as Richer Hand. Would love to institutionalize our Peer Educators Academy, because we have to build leadership in all different platforms. How can we create more leaders that are going to advocate for the changes they want to see from the grassroots level to the national level? My advice for the next generation, let's stop complaining about what is being done and what's not being done. Let's just get on our feet and create ideas that can contribute to the world that we want to see. Because this world, we're meant to be in this world because we have to innovate and create to the better world that our children are going to see.
Thanks for watching. You can always head to our website to see more incredible stories like this. I'm Ari Topo, and I'll see you next week.
African Voices Changemakers, in association with Glow Unlimited.
Brekete times 10. Get a Glow SIM today and enjoy 1,000 Naira sign-on bonus for voice and data. All new and existing Glow subscribers also get 10 times the value of their every recharge, plus up to double their data recharge as bonus. All Glow subscribers also get up to free 20,000 Naira bonus for voice and data.
Afghan women are afraid that this is the beginning of your efforts to erase them from the workspace.
Malumness, it's not clear. Even if we appear with the burqa, maybe they will say that women's voices are forbidden.
Did you ever imagine that you would be prevented from going to school?
Girls' education is fundamental to the dignity of Afghan life.
Do you believe that young girls will be allowed to go to school here in Afghanistan?
June 20th, a CNN concert event. Let's celebrate, educate, and lift every voice. Juneteenth, a global celebration for freedom. Live from the Hollywood Bowl, only on CNN. This is CNN. More people get their news from CNN than any other news source.
Inside Africa, in association with Zenith Bank.
I owe my life to healthcare. I was born with the amniotic band syndrome, spent the first 6 years of my life in and out of hospital.
While we were in medical school, there were lots of vision impaired persons dropping out of school, so we felt we could do something to change the situation.
When we built our diabetes management program, both my parents were enrolled in the program by me, and I have seen the impact it has had on their lifestyle.
Spurred on by their personal stories, these entrepreneurs from across Africa are determined to make a difference in healthcare on the continent.
I've always seen myself as someone who has passion to develop technology and always wanted to help people.
This is Inside Africa.
Every single time when I'm awake, I'm in the car, one, there's just this gratitude of just being alive, to have another day to try and make a difference in these communities that we serve. And constantly, my mind is always around what more can we do? How do we ensure that even the most vulnerable amongst us can get the care that they need, irrespective of how much money they have in their pocket?
Gregory Roxon is co-founder and CEO of M Pharma, a Ghanaian startup on a mission to create accessible and affordable healthcare across the continent. The startup manages prescription drug inventory for pharmacies and their suppliers, with pharmacies only getting charged for what they sell. In 2013, Gregory says he pitched this idea to a potential investor over drinks.
We're at the bar, we're drinking beers. He took out a napkin and literally drew out and sketched out the idea for what would become M Pharma. And at that moment, I was so amazed, I said I wanted to be in. And I literally took Greg outside the bar. There was an ATM outside the bar, and I said, I'm going to make a deposit on shares, right? Because the idea to me was so compelling. And I knew at that moment that this company was going to be extraordinary.
The startup services have expanded to include medical consultations, which Gregory says his parents have benefited from.
The reason why we are all deeply passionate about the work that we do is that we experience the health system. You know, both my parents are diabetic, and when we built our diabetes management program, both my parents were enrolled in the program by me, and I have seen the impact it has had on their lifestyle. Are you hungry? Will you eat a jollof?
Gregory regularly visits his family on the weekends.
Yeah, I have a lot of nieces and nephew, and the amount of work that each of them presents when you're around, I don't think it's possible to actually focus on any other thing. And so that is sort of my escape, because I know when I'm home, I have no option than to be bombarded with several requests from my nieces and nephew. So that sort of helps me switch off from thinking about M Pharma related stuff.
The highlight of our week lately has been when Gregory called to say, are you at home? I want to come over. And then he will add, is there food at home? All I have to say to Greg is that, yeah, this is home. Home is home, and there's always food. And it gives us that joy and excitement when he's able to make the time to visit us. I'm very proud of Greg in the work that he's doing, trying to make an impact in the healthcare industry in Africa.
And it wouldn't be a weekend at home without a visit to his nephew's Taekwondo practice.
It's every Saturday morning, 6:30 a.m. till Naim, my nephew, who's been doing Taekwondo for the last 3 years, comes over here. It's a discipline that Taekwondo brings. There's the saying, obviously, comes in himself and said, losers quit. Even in business, you know, it's like a philosophy that we try not to enshrine in our minds. So for me, one is just a nice way to, you know, not think of work, come and see him, train, and spend time with family. You know, we're very close, so it's just great to see that I cheer him on, and whenever he progresses to a new belt, he gets a gift. We've moved from, well, whatever he wants. So it's just, you know, great to have family around and to cheer him on as he competes and progresses to different levels.
Back at work, Gregory is visiting one of 300 pharmacies M Pharma works with, and one of the first pharmacies to use its services.
And it was actually my childhood pharmacy when I was growing up. It was the first proper pharmacy in Tema. It used to be the biggest pharmacy in the community, but it went through a difficult time. Lost access to financing, you know, the shelves were almost empty. At that point, you know, the pharmacy was really on its deathbed. It was, you know, dropped to serving just a few patients a month. We're probably doing less than $300 a month in revenue. 2 years later, this pharmacy is now doing over $4,000 a month in revenue. It is back to its glory days, seeing thousands of patients a month. And that for me was special because, you know, being able to bring back a pharmacy that was sort of my childhood pharmacy that had gone through a significant downturn back to prominence was sort of a personal joy. The future is bright, and we want to continue to do everything in our power to build a different healthcare future for Africans and the continent that we live in. We think it's a beautiful continent, and we deserve the same quality of care that people in other parts of the world currently have.
Thinking of banking in Africa? Think Zenith. In today's fast-moving, fast-changing world, you need a financial partner that understands your unique expectations. A bank with presence in major financial centers across the world, with the enabling platform to facilitate seamlessly, whenever, wherever, however. A bank with best-in-class financial solutions from a superb combination of technology and human touch for easy, fast, and secure banking that creates real value. Turning dreams into reality is now in your hands. People, technology, service. Zenith Bank, in your best interest.
Advancement, adaptation, new Marketplace Middle East.
From digital banking to biometric payments, we take a look at innovation and technology in the future of finance.
Marketplace Middle East, Saturday on CNN. On Culinary Journeys, meet Japan's Natsuko Shoji, a chef earning rave reviews. Inspired by art, she is a rising star in French cuisine and in an industry where men dominate. See how she overcame life's challenges despite the odds and is now paving the way for a new generation. Culinary Journeys, tonight on CNN, in association with Ajinomoto.
We've missed the globe-trotting and adventures, and we're longing to get out and go.
This is living.
Uncovering the city's DNA.
Look at that.
Meeting people who will share its secrets.
It's going to be very cold.
And making discoveries that wow.
We're not doing that again.
It's a world of wonder.
Gorgeous.
Now, go and see it. Saturday on CNN, in association with Turkish Airlines.
Well, growing up, I wanted to be a lot of things. An astronaut, an engineer, a scientist primarily. I've always seen myself as someone who has passion to develop technology and always wanted to help people. My name is Dare Odumade. I'm founder and CEO at Cheki Technologies.
Dawi Odumade first ventured into tech at university, setting up a social platform for students and lecturers to connect online. And a few years later, he created a music streaming and messaging platform called ShareBunk.
I was very intrigued by what I was seeing in terms of Facebook, Twitter at that moment. And in my very first year, because of the knowledge I've gathered over the years, which was, on mobile, software development, watching YouTube videos and educating myself, it was a no-brainer for me to actually start up a software company. And within space of a year to 2 years, we got the entire school signed up. So that experience of, building stuff off the bat by myself, with the help of colleagues that had similar interests, sort of spur that innate passion inside of me into reality.
After a chance conversation with a friend in 2017, Dowie decided to enter the health tech space.
After spending time with a friend of mine, a pharmacist, who had experienced a patient die from counterfeit anti-malaria medicine, it really caught my interest. And being aware that there were already technologies in the market that was trying to solve this problem, it piqued my interest to understand why these technologies were not doing enough to solve the problem. I found an opportunity to create something that could help people, which is CheckIt.
Globally, counterfeit medicine is estimated to be worth $200 billion a year, according to industry estimates, with Africa among the worst affected.
So let's verify if this is authentic. We've teamed up with really big pharmaceutical businesses and consumer goods companies to create our sticker labels or distribute our sticker labels on over 30 million products in Nigeria so far. And how the labels work, you simply scratch them to verify if a product is authentic or fake. And then you can either use the QR, you scan with a mobile application with the CheckIt app, right? Or you dial the USSD shortcode, which is a *347* the PIN hash. And that way you verify instantly that the product is authentic. Success, the product is genuine. Glucophage 500, IR 500, batch number, expiry date, NAFDAC number.
Dowie founded CheckIt in 2018 with the help from a marketing friend and an engineer he recruited early on.
We needed the application to be much more versatile, from people that have good access to the internet and those that don't have that much access to the internet. We had to be able to access different kind of clients and to make it of standard so that they can be able to use it. We needed to make the application faster and much more productive.
One important feature of CheckIt's design are the surveys, which provide their clients with consumer data and insights into the efficacy of their products.
We are very passionate about encouraging Nigerians, encouraging people generally to support the fight of counterfeiting, which is why we reward people for doing this activity. So how this works is when you authenticate a CheckIt label and you answer 2 to 3 survey questions, you get points for doing that. When you accumulate up to 5 points, basically you authenticate 5 products, you get 100 Naira credits into your phone immediately. Right now, we've been able to scale over 300,000 authentications and consumer engagement and rewards.
Over 4 years, the team has multiplied from 3 to 20, growing their ambitions with it.
But it's meant to be more customer facing. We're really looking at exponential growth. Over the next 5 years, we want to be the leading distribution technology company in the world. That is our plan, that's our vision, and we can get there.
Thinking of banking in Africa? Think Zenith. In today's fast-moving, fast-changing world, you need a financial partner that understands your unique expectations. A bank with presence in major financial centers across the world, with the enabling platform to facilitate seamlessly, whenever, wherever, however. A bank with best-in-class financial solutions from a superb combination of technology and human touch for easy, fast, and secure banking that creates real value. Turning dreams into reality is now in your hands. People, technology, service. Zenith Bank, in your best interest.
Connect the world with Becky Anderson.
Getting perspective on this region
from this region, bringing you the world from our Middle Eastern hub.
Connect the World with Becky Anderson, Monday through Friday on CNN.
Have you heard it like this?
Let's untangle the players and political forces.
Fast-paced news from the perspective of The Global Brief with Bianca Nobilo. Weeknights on CNN.
In the fast pace of life, it's really useful to take some time off. Just refresh, recharge, re-energize, and to be able to hit the ground running the next day.
Time off is a precious thing for tech entrepreneur Zain Banner. In 2018, at 23 years old, Zain went into business with his longtime school friend, Mpumelelo Mhlongo.
Phumi and I were in high school together. We went to Kearsley College, and I met Phumi in the year 2009 when we were both in grade 9, and our friendship has been strong ever since. Phumi and I have a passion of making a difference in Africa, and one of the things we really were passionate about based on our own journeys and experiences in the healthcare sector was to look at how can we make an impact.
Together, the pair launched health startup Steady State Ventures. Zain says their digital platform SteadyCare provides patients with an up-to-date healthcare record, including details of ongoing treatments, results, and a telemedicine service accessible from hospitals or home.
My grandfather passed away when my mom was at a very young age, and also from my experience spending some time in hospital when I was young, had gastric flu, and so the time spent during that time made me realize what it's like for a patient to experience the hospital and healthcare sector.
For his co-founder, friend and Paralympic athlete Mpumelelo, the cause feels just as personal.
I owe my life to healthcare, and in all honesty, I was born with the amniotic band syndrome, spent the first 6 years of my life in and out of hospital through specialists. But I think the real turning point is twofold. The first is when I lost 2 of my family members who were waiting an award, not even a ward, on the aisle for assistance and never received that assistance, so they ended up dying. The second to that is that when I was younger, I had an asthma attack. And then we went to Guatabega Hospital, public hospital here in South Africa. When we got there, there was another old man that had also had an asthma attack, and the nurses had to choose who to assist. They chose the child, and while they were assisting me, the old man died. And that's just, that's not something that anyone should live with, and that's not something that should be happening in the 21st century. Yeah. Cool down and then...
The rare birth abnormality, amniotic band syndrome, left Mpumelelo with a club foot and a right leg shorter than his left. But that didn't stop him from breaking 2 world records at the Paralympics in Tokyo in 2021.
I have a passion, I have something that I care about, and I can manifest it in a way that other people appreciate. And I think that core feeling is what I take away from representing my country.
Not one to shy away from a challenge, even Mpumelelo was intimidated by taking on South Africa's healthcare sector.
Entering the health startup space in South Africa is extremely daunting. I mean, the facts are scary. First year, 80% fail. First 5 years, the 20% that made it, 80% of them fail. And, funding opportunities and really having a network that will back you, so a client base that already exists when relationships are formed over years and you're a 20-something-year-old that has no experience in the healthcare space is daunting.
A lack of experience didn't stop Mpumelelo and Zain, both trained engineers, from pursuing their passion.
With digital trends happening, patients need to take or want to take more control and have access to their treatment journeys. And at the same time, with the lack of doctors in terms of the number of doctors to patients, especially in the public and private space, doctors and patients need more access to their health information and records that can be easily accessible through digital devices and our platform. The telehealth app allows the doctors to be able to call in and communicate directly with the patient and family as well, and that allows a more personal interaction and allows for the doctors not to be necessarily at the bedside when treating the patient. The patient also has access to general information, which gives them indication in terms of their treatment plans as well as what their conditions might be, so they're better informed. and more engaged in their and better control of their treatment process. At the same time, there's vitals, which the patient has at the bedside, as well as again at the home care setting, and the doctors are able to access this remotely, which then allows them to monitor the patient 24/7.
Suren Govender trialled 30 tablets with Steadicare whilst he was working at a large hospital, and was so convinced by it as a healthcare product that he joined the team in 2021.
I'm a lifelong technologist, so I look for, of course, the bells and whistles when it comes to tech. And yet this didn't need any of the bells and whistles to be an effective enabler for access to healthcare. I also enjoyed the fact that there was a big emphasis played on data, both data collection as well as how we use that data to improve the experience overall of healthcare workers and the patients themselves. But mostly I liked the design. It was intuitive. There was a lot of opportunity to customize and to make it meaningful as an experience again. And I suppose probably the biggest trait, but most important, was the synergies that the three of us have been able to establish and co-create. That's been probably the most exciting part of the journey.
Zain says the Steadicare platform is currently being trialled in 3 hospitals in 2 provinces, with the goal to reach public hospitals in the future.
In the startup landscape, it's important to know that there's a lot of different startup companies working, but together as a digital ecosystem, we can definitely make an impact in terms of transforming the healthcare to be more accessible, more affordable, and more impactful in terms of the way it's delivered to the citizens of South Africa.
Thinking of banking in Africa? Think Zenith. In today's fast-moving, fast-changing world, you need a financial partner that understands your unique expectations. A bank with presence in major financial centers across the world, with the enabling platform to facilitate seamlessly, whenever, wherever, however. A bank with best-in-class financial solutions from a superb combination of technology and human touch for easy, fast and secure banking that creates real value. Turning dreams into reality is now in your hands. People, technology, service. Zenith Bank, in your best interest.
I want to go now to an incredible story of survival. Could all this spending lead to a bigger economic crisis? Would you do it all again in terms of being a nurse?
I want to help people more than I ever have.
Aaron Burnett out front on CNN.
Hi everyone, so we are at Bethesda School of the Blind. This is one of the schools where our products are being installed. My name is Tomi Kolawole. I'm a biomedical engineer and also a doctor, and I'm a co-founder at Vinsight Technology.
Tomi Kolawole and his team from Vinsight have designed a text-to-speech app to help visually impaired students read in the classroom.
So this is a printed text. You can feel it. It's not Braille. Abi?
Yes.
So you wait a bit for it to scan, and then it will start reading to you.
The app uses artificial intelligence technology to scan the text and read it back to the user.
So for instance now, if there is a friend around, the app can easily identify and say, oh, there's somebody in front of you, there's somebody by your side. If there's probably a car around, white vision person is walking, all you just needs to do is switch off his camera, and it tells the person, oh, there's a car in front of you, there's a car by your side. And for reading books, this is quite different from audiobooks really. So what it does is it exactly reads the books aloud to them. So instead of somebody else or maybe another human being reading to them, the app does that work for them. So the app reads hardcover books aloud to them.
My name is Adesonya Ayokunle. I'm the CTO at Vinsight.
We are pretty much a team of friends rather than just business partners alone. While we were in medical school, of course, while I was in UI, there were lots of visually impaired persons dropping out of schools, and due to the fact that they could not read, and they could not really navigate the environment independently. So they were losing access to education, access to inclusivity. And I just felt that this was not so good because a friend of ours, me and my co-founders also had the similar issue. So we felt we could do something to change the situation. And of course, with my background in biomedical engineering and also being in the medical school, I understand a little bit about how to create a solution like that, but then could not create that alone. So I had to, talk to my friends, some of my friends who are currently my co-founders now, and we came together to create an AI technology solution that currently helps